morning. I'm going to start with a recap of what we did last week. So last week we read an article about adolescence and the teenage crush. Okay, and that article was written by, and we cited our source, Dr. Carl Pickard. It was called Adolescence and the Teenage Crush, and it was published in 2012 in Psychology Today. So we accessed it last week, and you can change this date to whatever date you'd like that you read the article. We also came up with a claim. So we did that in a Jamboard, and everyone got to choose a claim that meant the most to them, that meant that you were able to defend yourself. So what is the claim? The claim is your position that's being asserted as truth. Okay? So it's what you want me to read and believe that you believe as truth. And it's also the conclusion you draw after reading the article. So we brainstormed a whole bunch, and hopefully you were able to choose one. And your claim goes up here in the top. So you can see where I wrote, adolescent crushes need to be taken seriously by adults because they are important to the growth and mental health of the teenager. Now that's my own sentence. Then, and you can see down here where I went and I copied and pasted from the PDF of the article data or evidence, because that's what data is. And you can see I've got it written here in the brackets, grounds or evidence to prove the claim. Why is the conclusion true? So these are some things I copied and pasted. So these are Dr. Pickard's words, not mine. So when I put them into my paragraph as data, I need to put it into my own words. But you can see where I've used quotes around Dr. Pickard's exact words. I also have put his name in parentheses, comma 2012 when it was published, when I've used his ideas. So to keep track of what I used, I highlighted words down here that I used here in my own writing so that I made sure to cite my sources correctly. So I'm just going to kind of take you through how I did that. So I wrote, according to Dr. Carl Pickard, so the very first time you have to use his full name. You have to introduce me to him. Okay, only one time. After that, you can call him just by his last name if you want to. According to Dr. Carl Pickard, adolescents often find themselves falling for older and more experienced people. This early approximation of love, which is down here, okay, so the only thing that has quotes around it are his exact words. Where it's my words, I don't need quotes. This early approximation of love tells, quote, much more about the admirer than the admired. Right here. And you can see I didn't use every single word. So, but what I put parentheses around are his exact words. I didn't use tell. I made up my own word, tells, because it's a single person telling. And then after I did that, so I put quotes around his exact words. And after I did that, I did not put a period at the end of the sentence until after I put his last name, comma, 2012 in parentheses. See how that works? So that's how you cite your source. That's exactly it. And then you also have to follow it up with this on your works cited page, which if this were an essay paper, an entire paper, it would be on the very last page. It would be on its own page. So I'm going to continue. Again, these are my words. Sometimes the teen is feeling romantic love because he or she is infatuated with the other person. But often the teen is overcome with feelings of idealization. And so the object of the crush is given, again, I used his words, enormous power, leaving the teen vulnerable to being taken advantage of. Okay, and so not only am I quoting him, but some of this is kind of his idea. That's where I got it from. So this is all my data. These are my compelling reasons why I want your parents to take it seriously when you have a crush on someone, especially when you were in middle school, when you were really young and impressionable and vulnerable, but certainly now as well. You're still young. You're young adults. Okay, so this was to just kind of show you how I wrote my data. And the very last thing you're going to do is you're going to bridge it all together. So your warrant needs to be your bridge that puts it all together. What is a warrant? It's your reasoning, the rational link connecting the data to the claim. Why is the data relevant to prove the claim? So this, you can see from first glance, is all in my own words. And it's just a sentence or two basically explaining it, putting it all together. So let me read it to you. This is why parents need to take adolescent relationships seriously and not dismiss them. Their teen is transitioning from being a child to becoming a young adult. It is the parents' job to make sure their adolescents' feelings are supported, especially given that they are at such a great risk emotionally. Okay, so you can see how that works. Okay, so what you're going to do next is you all are going to work on that. Everyone has a claim. You're going to take your data, which you've put below a horizontal line, and you're going to pick and choose from your data to actually make a logical flow of thoughts or ideas that basically prove your claim to be true. Explain why your claim is true. And then you're going to follow it up with a sentence or two that is reasoning. It's the rational link connecting the data to the claim. It's why your data is relevant to your claim, why you put all this here. And so basically when I'm all finished, I can delete these words, and actually I'm going to make this all one paragraph when I'm all done. I'm going to indent, and this I will actually remove, and this will be my final project, my final product, which is worth 100 points. This is worth a test grade. So I'm going to go in and I am going to look for your data. Well, first your claim, and then I'm going to look for your data, and then I'm going to look for your warrant. And it doesn't have to be in that specific order. You can mix it up and write it in whatever order you'd like. But just to kind of show you all the three elements that need to be present in your paragraph. Good luck with this. And I'm here to give feedback along the way.